The history of the United States quarter-dollar coin 2001 is deeply tied to the ongoing 50-state quarters program launched by the United States Mint in 1999, which became one of the most successful coin programs in American history. The year 2001 marked the third year of this iconic program and featured quarters representing 5 states: New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Kentucky. Each of these quarters carried its own story, history, and symbolism reflecting the pride and identity of each state and showing how America's coinage can serve as a living record of the nation's heritage, culture, and geography. The quarter dollar itself has a long lineage dating back to the late 18th century, when the Coinage Act of 1792 established the denomination as one of the foundational coins of the U.S. monetary system. Initially composed of silver, the quarter went through several design and composition changes across more than 2 centuries, before reaching the modern era of commemorative issues. By the time the 50-state quarters program began, the quarter had become the most commonly circulated coin in America, cherished both by collectors and the general public. The 2001 quarters represented a moment of national pride as each design brought new artistry and storytelling to the nation's coinage. Beginning with the New York quarter released in January 2001, the design honored New York as the Empire State, featuring the Statue of Liberty rising in front of an outline of the state and 11 stars symbolizing its entry as the 11th state to ratify the Constitution. The design also included a line tracing the Hudson River and Erie Canal, representing the vital role these waterways played in shaping the economic and cultural growth of New York. The quarter's motto, "Gateway to Freedom," captured New York's role as a beacon for immigrants and as a symbol of liberty. The North Carolina quarter, released in March 2001, celebrated one of the greatest milestones in human achievement: the first flight by the Wright brothers in 1903 at Kitty Hawk. The design depicted Orville and Wilbur Wright's Wright Flyer lifting into the air, piloted by Orville, while Wilbur ran alongside, guiding the aircraft. The phrase "first flight" emphasized North Carolina's proud place in aviation history. This coin became one of the most popular of the series because of its universal appeal and the significance of human innovation. The Rhode Island quarter, released in May 2001, honored the ocean state with a design featuring a sailboat gliding under the Claiborne-Pell Bridge, also known as the Newport Bridge, with the Rhode Island shoreline in the background. The design captured Rhode Island's rich maritime heritage, its sailing culture, and its long association with freedom of religion and commerce. The Vermont quarter, issued in August 2001, paid tribute to the state's natural beauty and agricultural heritage. The design featured Camel's Hump Mountain, framed by maple trees being tapped for sap, symbolizing Vermont's world-renowned maple syrup industry. The image reflected both the rugged landscape and the hard-working spirit of Vermonters, as well as the importance of nature in the state's identity. The final quarter of 2001 represented Kentucky and was released in October. It depicted Federal Hill, the famous mansion that inspired the song. "My Old Kentucky Home," surrounded by a horse and a fence, representing the state's legendary horse breeding traditions. The phrase "My Old Kentucky Home" added a sentimental touch, linking the design to Kentucky's music and cultural heritage. Together, these 5 quarters from 2001 illustrated the incredible diversity of the United States and showed how each state contributes its own story to the national narrative. The designs were chosen through a public process involving state governors, citizens, and artists. The Mint worked closely with each state to ensure that the final artwork captured the spirit of the state while maintaining artistic integrity and clarity suitable for a small coin. The response from the public was overwhelming, with millions of Americans collecting these coins either from circulation or in special collector sets. The year 2001 also reflected the continuing evolution of U.S. coinage technology. The quarters were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, bearing the respective P and D mint marks. Proof versions were also struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark and were available in both clad and silver compositions. These proof coins were highly sought after by collectors for their mirror-like finish and sharp details. The Mint's use of modern minting equipment allowed for unprecedented consistency and quality in striking the detailed designs. The 50-state quarters program not only revived interest in coin collecting, but also had a significant cultural and educational impact across the country. Schools used the quarters to teach history, geography, and civics, while families across America joined in the hobby of finding and collecting each new release. The 2001 quarters played a crucial role in keeping this excitement alive. The introduction of these designs also helped spark broader discussions about how coinage could reflect the nation's shared values and diverse heritage. The designs of 2001 displayed themes of innovation, freedom, nature, and culture, all central to the American experience. Beyond their artistic appeal, the quarters of 2001 also had economic significance. By re-energizing public interest in coins, the program generated substantial seigniorage revenue for the U.S. government, as many people removed the quarters from circulation to keep as collectibles. This meant that billions of coins were minted, but a large portion never returned to circulation, adding profit to the Treasury without inflationary effects. The impact of the 2001 quarters can also be seen in how they influenced later coin programs, such as the D.C. and U.S. Territories Quarters Program, the America the Beautiful Quarters, and the American Women Quarters Program, all of which followed the precedent of celebrating American places and achievements on circulating coinage. In retrospect, the 2001 quarters stand out for their blend of artistry, history, and symbolism, capturing moments that define the American spirit. From the flight of the Wright brothers to the serene beauty of Vermont's mountains, these coins turned everyday pocket change into miniature works of art and historical documents that millions could hold in their hands. The year 2001 thus remains a landmark chapter in the ongoing story of the U.S. quarter dollar, a story that continues to evolve as new designs honor the nation's journey through time and its ever-changing identity. The history of the United States quarter dollar coin in 2001 is part of a larger story that begins over 2 centuries earlier, when the U.S. Mint was established in 1792 and Congress authorized the production of silver coinage, including the quarter dollar. The very first quarters were struck in 1796 and designed by Robert Scott, the first chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. That early design featured liberty on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The 1796 quarter was produced in very limited numbers, only a few thousand coins, which makes it one of the rarest early American coins ever minted. Throughout the 19th century, the quarter underwent several design changes reflecting the evolving artistic and political identity of the United States.